Okay, so let's get into it. For this deep dive, we are looking at the Republic of Suriname,
Right.
and specifically what our sources are calling this high-stakes triple transition that's happening, well, right now in late 2025.
And it really is a triple threat, so to speak.
It is. It's not just one thing. You've got a huge political shift, an economic pivot to oil, and a whole strategic realignment.
The scale is just immense.
I mean, think about the final investment decision for their big offshore oil project, Grand Morgu. We're talking about a U.S. $10.5 billion investment.
Which, to put that into perspective for everyone,
It's more than double the country's entire current GDP, which is about, what, $4.8 billion? Just massive.
and that's the core tension, isn't it?
Yeah.
Suriname is stuck in this really dangerous 3-year gap, this interregnum,
Right.
between the new government coming in and the first oil actually arriving, which isn't scheduled until 2028. So you have all these high expectations.
Colliding with, well, an empty wallet. Very tight fiscal space. And you can see that collision playing out in the politics. The election back in May was a clear rejection of the old government's austerity program.
People were just tired of the cost of living crisis.
Yeah, they'd had enough. So the new government that formed is this incredibly fragile coalition, a marriage of convenience, you could say.
Led by the National Democratic Party, the NDP.
And they have exactly 34 seats.
Yeah.
I mean, the precise number needed for the two-thirds supermajority to elect a president,
Yeah.
that seems unstable.
It is, and that tension plays out right at the top. You have Jennifer Geerlings-Simons as Suriname's first female president, who represents the NDP's more institutional side.
Which seems like a positive shift.
It is, but her vice president is Ronnie Brunswick. And his party, the ABOP, is constantly pushing for more populist spending.
Not to mention his own personal history. The drug trafficking convictions in Europe.
Which really complicates international diplomacy right when they need it most for financing.
Okay, so that's the economic tightrope. And we should be fair, the last government did get some things right.
Oh, absolutely. They were praised for restructuring their sovereign debt, even getting a deal done with China.
And they finished the IMF program. They brought inflation down from, I think, a staggering 60% in 2021.
All the way down to about 10.7% by this September. A huge achievement.
But the recovery is still fragile.
Very. The debt-to-GDP ratio is still high, around 70%. And the IMF is basically warning the new government, don't spend too soon.
Because they risk undoing all that hard work.
They risk reflation, destabilizing the whole economy right before the oil money is supposed to save them in 2028.
And the state itself is jumping into the risk pool, right? Stapsley, the state oil company, is looking for $1.5 billion.
That's right, for its 20% stake in Grand Morgu. So the state is taking on market risk directly to get a bigger piece of the pie.
It's such a high-wire act. And then you throw in this other piece, this green paradox, which is just fascinating.
It really is.
You've got this all-in bet on oil, but at the same time, Suriname is one of only 3 countries on Earth that are carbon negative.
Because it's 93% forest, it absorbs more carbon than it emits. And President Geerlings-Simons has made monetizing that a huge foreign policy goal.
So she's saying they should be paid for that.
For providing a global public good, yes. But here's the internal conflict. That green focus has to be balanced against the gold sector.
The illegal artisanal miners, the poor knockers.
Exactly. They cause huge environmental damage, but they are a key political base for...
Vice President Brunswick's party, of course.
So it all connects.
So if you're trying to make sense of this, the whole story comes down to this.
Yeah.
The new government has to resist the urge to spend. They need to survive these next few years, this interregnum.
Right.
And build the institutions to manage the wealth before the oil money actually arrives and, potentially triggers the resource curse.
Which brings us to the final thought. Suriname has already, in a way, monetized its future oil to restructure its past debts. It's a really complex move. So the question for you to think about is this. Can this small, incredibly diverse nation actually defy that classic resource curse? Can it emerge by 2030 as both a stable, energy-rich country and a leader in global environmental stewardship? That's the real test.